that separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Oh yeah, we are one. We are one. We are one.
Together we determine that a modern economy requires railroads and highways to speed travel and commerce, schools and colleges to train our workers. Together we discovered that a free market only thrives when there are rules to ensure competition and fair play. Together we resolved that a great nation must care for the vulnerable and protect its people from life's worst hazards and misfortunes. Through it all, we have never relinquished our skepticism of central authority, nor have we succumbed to the fiction that all society's ills can be cured through government alone. Our celebration of initiative and enterprise, our insistence on hard work and personal responsibility, these are constants in our character. We have always understood that when times change, so must we. That fidelity to our founding principles requires new responses to new challenges. That preserving our individual freedom ultimately requires collective action. For the American people can no more meet the demands of today's world by acting alone than American soldiers could have met the forces of fascism or communism with muskets and militias. No single person can train all the math and science teachers we'll need to equip our children for the future, or build the roads and networks and research labs that will bring new jobs and businesses to our shores. Now, more than ever, we must do these things together as one nation and one people.
Hello, y'all. Hello. Okay, thank you. Y'all quiet down. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Google. Who you twerking with, Twitter? What's going on, YouTube? Spreaker.com family, I salute you. And internet listeners all around the world, welcome to Let's Talk About It. And I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the city, beautiful Orlando, Florida, where it is 75 degrees and clear. And joining me to talk about it and helping to always keep you informed, coming up on the line here shortly within this hour is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. Jack is going to come to us tonight and teach us and talk to us about what tyranny means. You know, the Republicans and the Tea Party are always screaming that the president, we're living in a tyranny state, a tyranny time, a tyranny world, a tyranny. Jack is going to explain to us tonight about tyranny, what it means, and hip us, because you know that's what Jackie does. She is not called the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert for nothing. It is because she is uppity. Y'all hear trying to talk monkey talk to me every now and then here on the station, and she is very well-read. It came to Jackie about 3-4 months ago as she was wishing for every book on the planet. It came to her that to go to her local library. After she moved, she saw her local library close by, and she stopped in there, and anything that they don't have that she wants to read, honey, she got them ordering it. She got them on standby, and she is in seventh heaven. I think reading is better than sex to Jackie. Just saying. That I think it. I do. I think that if Jackie was about to die, I think if she was standing in front of the Taliban and they about to hang her, she would ask for a book to read. Can you? I didn't read this one book before I left. That is my beautiful niece, and I'm so proud of her. I bring you all the fun and the foolishness. Jackie brings you the facts. Well, now, I bring you facts too, but, you know, my facts just kind of just fucking with you. Jackie is facts. She's teaching you something, okay? But y'all understand me, and that's all that matters. Okay, so let's talk about it. We are the 2012 U Voice winners right here at Spreaker.com for the most informative show. And that's because we keep you informed. You know, that's what we do. Okay, before I get to talking, let me say hello to my early chat room who's ready to talk about it. And I'm going to do my damnedest not to look at the chat room while I'm speaking, because they will take your whole train of thought away. They get so crazy in there and start cussing and fussing with us that I can't look at it. Jackie will not look. Every now and then my eyes fall down there. So welcome to the chat room, David Capers. If y'all just got off that wild ride called the Razor Blade Express, I understand. Come on in. Just step in the back there, get your wig and your panties back on. I told you last week that the best way to avoid losing your wigs and your panties over there with Daddy Boo Boo on that crazy wild ass train ride, do what I do, boo. Just don't wear none. Don't wear your wig and your weave, and don't wear your pantyhose. Then you won't lose them, because otherwise he gonna part them right off of you, because he plays some hopping, jumping music. And I loved that song that I wrote to him when I wrote in the chat room, Work Daddy. I don't know who that is, but I know you're going to figure out who I was talking about, and you're going to send me that, because I like that thing right there. Welcome my big sister, Jeannie, all the way from Aubrey, Arkansas. David Capers is in Sarasota, as a matter of fact. And welcome DJ Tony Sanchez, all the way from Chi-Town, Chicago. And I know they are waiting on Jackie. They hoping every week that she cuss. See, they used to me cussing, but they be waiting on Jackie. They just hope that she gonna bust loose and cuss every now and then. It's very funny, because she's so uppity and well read. You know, cussing is really not. It's not her thing, but she does cuss. But she curses in such a proper manner that, you know, where me and you would say motherfucker, Jackie will say motherfuckers. She has to pronounce every vowel, syllable, you know. So we love it. Anyway, Jackie will be coming up to teach us a few things here shortly and giving us her word for the week. And I'm going to, before I decide, I'm going to ask her if she has the dumbass comment of the week and a choice for the Negro, please, because I sure got mine. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to rant with y'all about until Jackie gets here. And I know she going to start ranting too, okay? Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about this young girl, and I salute you, darling, Madison Kimry, 12-year-old publicly schools governor of North Carolina at a Moral Mondays meeting. Miss Madison Kimry. I love her already. Penn State will pay $60 million to the 26 men that Sandusky abused. Or I think the article should have said the 26 that we know about that Sandusky abused. That's a whole lot of I didn't do it money, ain't it, y'all? I ain't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. This was lawyers and for the victims, and the Penn State Insurance Company, I'm sure whoever they are, their name is Penn State Insurance Company. They worked out a deal, and this insurance company is going to pay $60 million to the victims. I mean, they must have met in the middle. They must have been asking for $200 million, $100 million, for it to take this long for them to settle. But you know, y'all, that those witnesses must have been very convincing. 26 men that this son of a bitch abused. Boy, when I just think about him, his mouth just nasty looking. Do y'all remember that interview with Bob Costas? And he asked him, "Are you attracted to young boys?" And he sat there for a minute, and then the son of a bitch couldn't even say, "Not like you mean, not in a sexual way." Now, he didn't say that. That's when I knew, oh, he did it. He said, "I enjoy young boys." You know, he reminded me of you know, y'all know the little man who works in the movies. You know, they always have Dracula has a little sidekick, you know, and he's Dracula's little slave, and all he wants is the master promised him spiders and bugs, you know, "Master, you promised me." So that's what I was thinking when Sandusky did that interview and said, "I enjoy young boys. I love young boys." We know that, motherfucker. Don't say it. Don't say it on that. And the attorney was sitting there like, shut the fuck up. I mean, he couldn't even help himself. He reverted into the let me see, what do I call him? The no good, no hustle, varmint, baby raping son of a bitch that he was. He couldn't even, he had to have two personalities. He couldn't even control himself. "I love young boys. I enjoy them." You could just see him. I'm sure he wanted to just rub his hands, you know, like cookies. Yum. So they paid $60 million to the 26 men that we know about that Sandusky abused. Oh, I'm telling you, I could just throw rocks at him on a daily basis. He better be glad that wasn't my son, that he got to come to camp and go to football games. Child, you know, I'm a black woman. They couldn't have kept my ass off of him. No, I'd have found a way to get to him. Ooh-wee. Okay, so enough about that. I was just alerting y'all to that news in case you didn't know it. Oh, and I didn't tell you what tonight's subject was, and you can probably imagine right from there why I said it. Somebody wake me up. Somebody wake me up. Okay, so my great story is Madison. I should have told that last because that's some good news. My other, what drove me to make this subject "Somebody Wake Me Up," Republicans have voted 46, 47, 48, I don't know, 46 times plus to repeal or dismantle Obamacare. Whatever. I thought 43 was just going too far, but these some bitches are still voting. They still up there at the House voting to repeal Obamacare. What I want to know is, I know this side of us. Okay, Jean said, that means that after the lawyers get, the lawyers get 3/4, Jean. So the 26 boys, they'll probably end up with a couple of million each. Cause you know the lawyer's gonna get their cut first. But you know, that's why lawyers do what they do, because I guarantee you they don't get much sleep when they work in a case like this. I mean, the paperwork is unbelievable that is stacked up. And so I'm just imagining most lawyers get 33%, something like that, 3/4. So you know, no amount of money can ever take away what these young boys are going to have to suffer with every single day of their lives. You know, when you're making love to someone you love, you know all the beautiful thoughts that are supposed to be going through your mind. I bet you they can't sleep with anybody normally without that shit creeping into their heads, or that some bitch touching them, raping them. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. So I said I wasn't going to read the chat room, but I had to. Okay, Jean, sorry. Part of your chat came up later after I started talking, but it says, Morganfield says, that means that after the lawyers get their share, the 26 men will each get, hey, okay, so if y'all didn't know, Morganfield was, for 38 years, the accountant or a CFO for a clinic. So she know her damn numbers, okay? And I said they probably gonna get about 2 million. Jeannie worked it out. 1.538 $461.54. That's how they're gonna get 1.5 million. 1.538,461,000. Oh, what, Jean, girl, and 54 cents. Jean worked it out, but I was close. Welcome to the chat room, our baby from Jonesboro, Arkansas, Sandra Johnson and the Johnson family. Happy birthday, Miss Barbara. I'm going to try to sing for you at the end of the show as soon as I get the cooties out of my throat. I know y'all can hear me clearing my throat and scratching. I took my medication. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so Jeannie said it took the lawyer. I took the lawyer's share out of first and then divvied the rest. Well, I noticed how you did that because the lawyer's going to get theirs first. And then what's left, that's how you got to do it. Divvy it up. David Caper said, hey, sister broke it down for you. Yes, she did. Okay, so let me get away from Sandusky again because I can cuss about him all night. And when Jackie gets here, I got to tell her over again, make sure that that she, you welcome Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara thanking me for her happy birthday through the chat room. If y'all want to come into the chat room, y'all can do so too. But if you hear me just kind of go off like the Republicans, like I ain't got no damn sense, I'm responding to the chat room or, you know, or whatever. All right. So just so y'all know that I'm not cuckoo, but sometimes I have to respond to the chat room as they write their comments or their questions. And so Miss Barbara was thanking me real fast. So I want to tell her she Malcolm. All right. So the Republicans, let's back to these fools. For now, I'm off of that baby raping, no good, no hustle, baby raping varmint called Sandusky. I'm off of him for a minute. But the Republicans, they ain't much better. I'm telling you, y'all, I wouldn't date a Republican. Well, no more. I have dated a Republican, and he wasn't crazy. He wasn't crazy like that. He kind of believed in their philosophy somewhat, but he wasn't crazy like that. As soon as I said, yo, babe, I need $500, he sent it to me, just like I was an orphan or something, you know? He was white, I was black. He sent it right to me, just no problem. And I thought Republicans don't believe in giving nobody nothing. Well, Putty Tat was involved, right? They'll do anything for Putty Tat. And if you listen, DF, you know who I'm talking to. You know I'm just having some fun. I loved you and I love you now. I'm just teasing about that kind of Republican shit, But I know you loved me and I loved you, and that was sincere from your heart. You didn't think of me as no damn project case that needed some food stamps. I love you. Okay, so I ain't gonna tell y'all who I'm talking to or talk about. Okay, so they have voted to repeal Obamacare or dismantle it 46, 47, 48 times. And I want to ask, I know I got some Tea Partiers out there that's listening to me. And every now and then, they'll say something. Jeannie, look out, Brenda. Every now and then, they'll say something to me. They'll either come into the chat, they can't stand it. And if you notice, anytime one of them comes into the chat, they don't come in and address what we're talking about. They just come in and say, how about time Obama did this? How about time? We ain't talking about that. We're talking about this. If those son of a bitches had passed a jobs bill, 46, 47, if they were fighting for jobs for Americans, I could understand it. But I cannot understand these some bitches. And as I was about to say, I wouldn't have sex, date a Republican again for nothing. Because number one, in order to be a good lover, you must listen. Okay? You have to listen. And these some bitches are the hard-headedest some bitches I have ever seen in my life. They don't listen. They don't learn. They ignore. You could put a pile of shit right there in front of their faces. And they would say, what's that stinking? And you say, well, that's that pile of shit on that plate. You need to back it up or you need to go flush it up. No, that ain't shit I smell. No. That ain't shit I smell. If they were a lover and you said, baby, I don't like it when you do that. That hurts. So, you do like it. We gonna keep doing it. You do like it. I like it. You like it. See, y'all see what I'm saying? Some of my bitches. Thank you, Jean. I got that from Judge Neal, some bitch. But Jean said, in the words of Bernie Mac, they are some of my bitches. And that's true, too. But y'all get my point. See, I bring you the facts, the fun. I bring you all the fun and the foolishness, okay? Some facts, but Jackie gonna really lay out the facts. But I have to break it down to y'all so that if you don't understand, if y'all break it down that way, everybody at some point or another done had sex. And you must imagine a some bitch that you tell you don't like that. Don't do that anymore. I don't like that, baby. That don't feel good to me. And he continues to say, I like it. If I like it, you like it too. Can you just imagine having a lover like that? Having a husband that you done told 100 times, baby, don't buy chitlins for me. I don't like them. I bought you some chitlins. I don't like chitlins. Yes, you do. I bought them for you. Okay, that cleaner for y'all. Now do you understand? These are some hard-headed some of my bitches. And if America, which all the polls are showing now that Americans get it, the sane Republicans, they get it. A lot of the sane, most of the sane Republicans, they don't hate Barack Obama. Most of them aren't racist like that. Most of them don't go out saying that kind of crazy shit that Rush Limbaugh and all of them say. Rush Limbaugh, it's okay for them to say nigga, but we can't say it. Yeah, okay. We done told you, yeah, it is okay for us to say it. And no, you can't say it. But let one of us catch you out and you said, ooh, wee, honey. The ass whooping is going to commence. I'm telling you, don't say it. If we have white friends that we love, we always tell them, don't say that. Y'all remember the comedian that he's married to this black woman and he tells all these jokes about what happens to him in the black community on different occasions. He told the joke once that when he went to church, and the black folks was jumping up, praising it and dancing and shouting out. And he said, I think I got that clip in here. I'm going to play that for y'all. And he was telling about how he was just really amazed at these white folks jumping up, doing all this holy dancing and stuff. And he was like, he thought they were having fits and shit. What's wrong with them? And his wife told him, you know, they were praising the Lord. He's like, really? And he was like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something. I ain't going to say no more. I'm going to find that for y'all on break and play it for you. That will really get you laughing up in here. But that same white comedian, and I can't recall his name because it's been years since I saw him when he told this joke. But he was talking about, you know, because his wife was white, his woman was white. I mean, his woman was black and he was white. You know, he had all these black friends and stuff. And they used to take him out to the club, you know, and he was like, yeah, he said, and they would be, yo, hey, my nigga, what's up? Yo, nigga, what? Hey, nigga, I ain't seen you so long. And he got there and he gonna jive too. And hey, nigga, somebody busted him in the head before he could get the word nigga out. So Rush Limbaugh, I'm telling you, you want to keep saying it? You right. I could say nigga all I want. Nigga, nigga, nigga. And if the rest of them had some balls like Rush would just go and say it, they would feel better. Because that's the only thing that is stopping them for seeing any good, working with this president in any way. And I'm so tired of saying it every week. That's my subject. Somebody wake me up. I'm so sick of saying, who you gonna talk to? How you gonna talk to some bitch that despises you, that hates you? You know, I mean, they hate this man so much. Why? I wouldn't invite your ass to my house if you hated me. But Barack has done that. And, you know, we've talked about this before, that the state dinner that's held at the White House every year, them damn, any Republican or congressman, senator, anybody, you know, they're delighted to be on the guest list. And he invited some of them some bitches would not go. So if they didn't go to the most muckety muck, one of the most muckety muck dinners held at the White House and every year, and you are, you know, on the top if you get your name on the list, on the invite list, and they wouldn't even go to that. You think they're going to go to the White House to discuss with him about Obamacare? Gina said they were not missed. Gene said, how many teeth did he lose? He was a comedian, Gene. He didn't lose none. He was just on Def Comedy Jam telling his story. But that was some funny shit. When bam, they hit him in the head. He couldn't even get the word out. But they continue. And Joe Scarborough, I just saw my boy Keith Olbermann. I didn't even know Keith was on Facebook. But Keith is on Facebook and he is back. I love Keith. I don't know where his television show is now. I think it's on the internet somewhere. But he's on Facebook now. And Keith Olbermann just tells it like it is all the damn time. And that's why I love his ass so much. And, you know, he was saying today how Joe Scarborough, you know, Morning Joe, constantly interrupts Mika Brzezinski. Mika's the Democrat. Joe is the Republican. And he's always, this president, and now here they are. This president, he just don't get along with folks. He just ain't, you know. You gonna tell me that Barack Obama is less likable than Reagan? Please. People love Barack Obama, white and black. Y'all remember the Republican down here in Florida that had the pizza shop and the president walked in and he picked him up and gave him a bear hug and Barack just went with it. And that Republican voted for Barack. And so many others. And now every time you turn around, the interviews, they are interviewing Republicans across the country after this shutdown and this bullshit and all these votes to repeal Obamacare. And y'all, these votes aren't cheap. They cost us money. 6 months ago or so, the last time I checked, they had cost us $155 million every time they vote on Barack on defunding Obamacare. Delay it. They would try anything because, listen, people, again, this was, Barack Obama has told us 100 times, this was the Republicans' idea. Mitt Romney put it into play when he was governor of Massachusetts. All the people, 97% of Massachusettsians are covered through Romney Care. And they love it. They ain't got no, but it's not for a national thing. It can't go national. It was just right for Massachusetts. Why are you lying? Well, I'm sorry, off limits, that you don't hear anything, baby. The rest of the chat room hears something, so you know that's got to be your system. Keep on working on it, and do like me, turn up the speakers, turn them on. But I don't know, baby, why you can't hear me, but everybody else does because they're commenting on it. So keep working on your system. But Mitt Romney just swore that Obamacare, his system, ain't right for the nation. Why not? McDonald's started in one city, one little town, and now McDonald's is worldwide. It worked there. Folks like the hamburgers. Let's see if somebody in the next state won't like them or the next city. So the hamburgers worked. So now we use it. Okay. Back when, I wasn't there, but they used to call doctors witch doctors if he lost a patient, whatever. But soon they came to their senses and said, damn, that doctor, he may have lost one patient, but he just saved 20 in the village. So maybe he's not a witch doctor. Maybe there's something to this medicine thing. It worked in one city, and then all of a sudden you got doctors coming out your ear hole and doctors everywhere now. There is nothing wrong with Obamacare. We can't get everything for free. So, no, everybody's not going to pay the same rate. Everybody is not going to, some people's insurance is going to go up according to your income. But your deductible is going to be a whole lot less if and when something happens to you. But the thing that I like about it, and Dr. Irwin Redlener, who has been advising presidents since 1993, was here on the show with me and Jackie for 2 hours explaining Obamacare to us. He told us that the first 3 years are going to basically be free to you. And colonoscopies, mammograms, all the really important exams. Obamacare focuses on pre-intervention. They get to you before you get cancer. All these things that will cut down on our medical bills, weighing this country down, weighing families down. This pre-intervention of illnesses is going to make a big difference. And you can get a colonoscopy. It's like $3,000. Thank you, Gene. That's what I was thinking of. Pap smears. All of this is going to be free. Birth control pills are now free. The Republicans don't even want us to have birth control pills. Again, somebody wake me up. I'm so sick of this. They don't want us to have an abortion. They don't want us to have a birth control pill. They don't want us to do anything. I bet you them some bitches trying to put a block on rubbers. They just want you to have babies. But when the babies get here, they don't want to feed them. Oh, hell no. You ain't getting no WIC and no food stamps. No. You ain't getting no birth control pills. You meant to have babies. That's what God meant for you to do. Stay barefoot and pregnant. They are some amazing creatures. Amazing. And if you aren't like that, and you don't talk like that, then you the enemy. I mean, look at them, how they're treating Chris Christie. Their best hope for somebody running against whom we believe Hillary Clinton will be the nominee. Christie is their best hope for winning, but they hate him. Why? Because he met the president at the airport, shook his hand, and thanked him for coming, and thanked him for getting that money, giving them this money, and just caring about people. Absolutely. Okay, so I told y'all every now and then I bust out and I'm responding to the chat room, and if I look at it, they're gonna get me off my thought. And Sandra Johnson just wrote, Mama said cut they ding dings off. Okay, we gonna call it the ding-a-lings. Cut they ding-a-lings off. I don't understand these people. I really, really don't. But I tell you what, the rest of us that don't understand them and don't want these crazy some bitches around, we've got people joining us because Republicans are joining us themselves. Even their own party. The polls are like 79% that Republicans gonna vote for Democrats next time. That poll just came out today, and I saw it on Chris Matthews. Oh my goodness. 79% of your own party is sick of your asses. And if y'all keep on talking crazy, and I've told you 100 times, me and Jackie can teach you. Just give us $1 million each. I mean, y'all gave them fools $400 million. Who they just gave millions of dollars to some fool to make up their own survey and lie to them that Romney was winning. Oh, we gonna win this thing. We got it. So you paid him to do this poll. He's gonna lie to you so that you hear what you want to hear. And boy, the next morning with the egg on their face, well, before the night ended, we knew that Barack Obama had been reelected. And I'm just saying, I'm very proud of the fact that he's black, but it wouldn't matter to me whether he was black or white. I still would have voted for him because he's such a humble, graceful, intelligent, caring Christian man. He's not a part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Y'all, did y'all hear this lie out of somebody's mouth? Whose mouth was that? I made myself. When I hear ridiculous shit, I have to make a note. But if I ramble through all these papers, all y'all gonna hear is a bunch of noise. But somebody told a lie. Oh, and Jonathan Capehart wrote about it. Some crazy ass Tea Partier told a lie that Barack Obama had invited the brothers, the Muslim Brotherhood brothers, to the White House, and they went out and prayed together on the East Lawn. Okay? Jonathan Capehart first started off in his article by telling you, first of all, there is no East Lawn of the White House. And I think he said it was happening. I know one of my peeps in the chat room, because I can't find my paper, but I wrote it down. But y'all just look up Jonathan Capehart on this lie, and somebody can put the link up for everybody to get. But he told this lie that Barack Obama had prayer, and I believe it may have been when they said that they were out there with their rally or something, or doing the government shutdown. But it was the biggest lie ever told. Gina said Bill Clinton told him that 2 + 2 = 4, not 1. In our Jethro saying, a naught plus naught equals naught. But they can't get this shit through their heads. And I mean, how in the hell you gonna have prayer with the Muslim Brotherhood on the East Lawn of the White House? First of all, when there is no East Lawn of the White House. Second of all, what kind of security would have had to been? Okay, that lie just wouldn't even hold water. But they don't care about these lies. Glenn Beck and people like this, they tell these lies, and the people that listen to them are just fools. I told you I've lost some dear friends because they watch Fox and they believe that shit. And there was a study done, I think it was Dartmouth University or something, did this study, and people that watch Fox, it makes you stupid because they tell so many lies. And if this is what your news source is, then you're just getting nothing but lies. And even when they lie, they won't apologize. It's an amazing thing. Bill O'Reilly calling us parasites. We're parasites. You son of a bitch. Okay, so speaking of Fox and Fools, I'm ranting and it's almost time for Jack to come on. Fox and Fools claims that the pregnant woman a week ago, standing behind the president who almost fainted, that was a prop. Okay? You talking about, these people are so hateful and evil towards this president. I don't know how did everything is a prop. Everything is staged. So Fox and Fools was right there. I'm not, their show is called Fox and Friends, but I call them Fox and Fools. But they were right there talking about it was staged. So this woman was interviewed by Carmel Allison October the 28th. And she wrote this story. How I Met President Obama and Fainted, the True Story. Okay. 1 week ago today, I stood behind President Obama and fainted as he addressed the nation on the Affordable Care Act. This is a very long account in excruciating detail of how I came to meet the president. No one person will likely make it through all of this, I fear. So I added sections, headings for your convenience. Feel free to skip to the parts you care about. And it is a very, very, very long story, y'all. But and there's I think a C-SPAN video or something connected to this. I can't read it all, and I'm not even going to attempt. But if you want to read the story, please go over to my Let's Talk About It page, to our Let's Talk About It page, and you will see the clip. And then you can get to the story and read it all later too, okay? Because it is a very long story. The invitation. On Friday morning, my plan was to extract spleens from 3 mice, isolate dendritic and T-cell stains, dendritic. Okay, I don't know what that means, but never mind, it doesn't matter. And T-cell stains and co-culture the cells. I would collect on Monday and analyze using the flower cytometer. In the meantime, over the weekend, I would sit down and force myself to write out responses to the reviews I had just received back on a paper I submitted, a task I was by no means looking forward to. Okay. The best laid plans of mice and men often go weary indeed. On Friday around noon, I happened to check my email while my cells were spinning in the centrifuge. I had received an email the prior week from a representative of the American Diabetics Association, ADA, expressing her appreciation for the blog post I had recently written about the Affordable Care Act. I had thanked her for her kind words and now saw a response. Rather than a generic sure thing, what I saw was an invitation. My blog post had been passed by a director at the ADA to a contact at the White House who wanted to invite me to an event at the White House on Monday. Okay, y'all see how this happened? This ain't no conspiracy theory, Fox. Okay, and I didn't read it like she said it. She wrote, White House on Monday, exclamation. The White House, exclamation. I thought, period. How cool would that be? But I kept reading and there was more. The president would be speaking about the Affordable Care Act. I would be standing with the president and I might even get to meet him. Wow. She was so excited. And then my brain hits pause. This Monday? I have sales to collect. I need to be here Monday. Self, the sales will wait. This is what she said to herself. When someone invites you to come meet the president, you don't say no. That was her speaking to herself. The day was frantic to begin with. As I was rushing to get my sales cultured before a meeting at 1:30, now I was also running back and forth to my computer and checking my phone at every opportunity. Emails were traded. The ADA would pay for my travel. By the way, I'm pregnant, but only 20 weeks. So traveling should be fine. Can my husband come? He's a crucial part of my diabetes care team. We can get him into the audience at the event, but can't pay for his travel. How long do you want me to stay? If I fly back Monday evening, I can still collect my sales on Tuesday. Less than 24 hours in Washington, D.C. seems like a shame, but such is the pain of short notice. The hotel is booked, the flight is booked, now to find a dress for my pregnant self in less than 24 hours. And so, that is the start of the story as she tells it. And then she broke this story up into portions. Like she said, if you want to skip through because it's very long, y'all get the point. Okay? She wrote a blog. Somebody from the Diabetes Association read it, passed it on to the White House. She wrote a blog about the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. Somebody at the Diabetes Association read it, thought, wow, this is super, sent it on to the White House. The White House got it, and they thought, wow, this is great. And they, in turn, invited her to come and stand with the president, as I'm sure all of those people, somebody read something, saw something on the internet, saw a video that they may have made, heard their testimonials of how the Affordable Care Act is already helping them, just like the Republican on Facebook that I read the letter to y'all a few weeks ago that didn't have insurance because he had testicular cancer 10 years before and he had a pre-existing condition. And y'all, I didn't even know this, but having had one child, that constitutes a pre-existing condition. Like this guy had sleep apnea, that constituted a pre-existing condition. I mean, what's the 18 kids and counting? They've now had 19 and she had one miscarriage. I don't know if y'all saw this, but it was really funny. The husband of that clan, somebody grabbed him at the Virginia governor. What's his name? Cuccinelli, the Virginia lieutenant governor who is running for governor, and getting his ass wore out. The Democrat McDonald, is that his name? President Clinton's friend that he spoke for yesterday is kicking his butt as they are awaiting the charges to be filed against Governor Vaginal Probe. You see, God don't like ugly. I'm so glad this mess is happening to his ass. I can't even say that I ain't. I would be lying. All the mess that he put out on women, all the dirt they tried to do in Virginia to voters and stuff. What happened? his ass and his wife's ass are about to be indicted, and we are expecting the indictment the week of Thanksgiving. And this is just so fitting. Karma is something else, ain't it? If y'all just wait, don't go shoot nobody up like sometimes we want to, God will sure fix it for you. And so now his ass, the whole state of Virginia is hating on him because he has embarrassed them, taking all these bribes and shit, him and his whole family, and doing what this company wants and getting them government grants and shit. Y'all remember when Romney said, we saw him on video when he was chosen to run the Olympics some years ago. And the first thing he told them was, we need about $400 million. And where do we get that from? If you want money, go to the government. That's where the money is. You see, the Republicans believe just fine in the government as long as they are getting the money. And Jeannie told me, and me and my sister talked about this the other night. And she said it was in the Bible and she could not recall where and pull up verse and chapter and verse. But Jean said, if you dig a ditch, if you're digging a ditch, you better dig two. The first one is for the digger. Okay, so you better dig two. So while he was doing all this dirt, you see, God don't like ugly. Then his butt got exposed for all the bribery and gifts, over $150,000, while he working behind the scenes, making the taxpayers buy all of this energy drink for the company that he and his wife are basically spokesmen for. And they're making the taxpayers buy their whole family all these energy drinks. And while he's working on getting this company, this government money for their company, making all this money, his ass got caught up with all the damn gifts and cash. And you know what he said the other day, y'all? He said, my wife did that. I didn't know she was taking money. That white boy said his wife did it. The first lady of Virginia. I didn't know my wife took that $50,000. I didn't know they took on that shopping spree in New York. I didn't know she bought that $15,000 suede jacket. Please. And I didn't know that $25,000 Rolex they gave me was a Rolex. I ain't know who gave it to me. That was just a gift. And I ain't know who paid for my daughter's wedding. And I ain't know they gave my daughter $15,000 for a wedding present. I ain't know. Oh, and that Porsche I drive, I ain't know that came from them either. I ain't know that Porsche came from them. I ain't know. And the Fed said, oh, hell, yes, you did know. You and your wife going to jail. So it is so fitting. And Cuccinelli, he's the lieutenant governor. And he gonna try to run in the state. Child, listen. You are Republican. You are his lieutenant governor. So that means that your policies is his policies and vice versa. And his ass is getting roped like okra in Virginia. And I'm loving it. Okay, so anyway, like I said, if y'all want to read the story about the woman who they're claiming, Fox and Fools is claiming was a prop. The president put her up there so she'd faint, and then he'd grab her, and then that'd make him look good. They don't even give this man credit for being human. They don't even give him credit for being a man. But then, white folks black in slavery time didn't consider us black men to be men. How you doing, Mary? Stop with the hey, I'm gonna block you real fast. 1, don't write it no more. 2, I'm talking to the chat room woman, y'all. 3, okay, don't write it anymore, okay? All right, that's it. Bye. Y'all won't have to see that no more. Just banded her coming out chat room acting a fool. Okay, so you want to come into the chat room and talk to us, you cool. You come in my chat room acting a fool, I'm going to ban that butt, okay? You can't come no more. All right, so what I said, don't do no more. Stop it, quit, don't. All right, that's it. Okay, but y'all can find that story on Let's Talk About It and grab it because it was so long, I didn't have time to read it all either. And no way that she just stupid. Right you are, Tony. She can listen. Mary, you stupid. I would have called her whole name if I could have remembered it. Sorry, y'all. I got off track laughing at the chat room again. Okay. All right. So that took me a whole hour to get through my rants. And now it is time for us to take a commercial break. And then I will get Miss Uppity on the line, hopefully. Hopefully she's not somewhere stuck in traffic. But before I take this break, y'all, let me say this. I was watching one of my MSNBC shows, and it was All In with Chris Hayes. And Chris Hayes had this senator from, where is she from? Ohio, I believe, where John Kasich is the governor. He had her on. Her first name is Nina, Senator Nina something. But he had her on today, and they were talking about this governor, John Kasich, who John Kasich, has accepted Obamacare. And as Jan Brewer out in Arizona said, I'd be a fool not to, and so will the rest of these Republican governors be a fool not to. But he was talking to her about something John Kasich was doing, and probably has to do, I think it had to do with voting rights. But she said in her rant to Chris Hayes, I'm feeling a grandma moment coming on, Chris. She said, my grandma used to say, you can put the truth in the river 5 days after a lie, but the truth gonna rise up anyhow. I cracked up laughing because my sister used to have a friend, and he was a preacher, and he had this saying that a lie will be out of the bed, dressed, and round the block and back again before the truth can ever wake up. But when the truth gets there, when the truth gets up, it's going to be the truth anyhow. And that's all I could think of when she said that. She said you can put the truth in the river 5 days after a lie, but the truth going to rise up anyhow. It's still going to be the truth, y'all. And no matter how these Republicans carry on about this mess and these lies that they trying to portray to us, the truth is still standing just fine, doing just well. Amen. Amen. Okay, so you are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and coming up on the line will be the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. And then when I come back to you, I'm going to give you the story. And I saved this story for last, even though I started off with it. I'm going to give you the story of 12-year-old Madison Kimry as she puts the governor of North Carolina to shame. I'm going to play the video for y'all so you can hear her. This young girl is amazing. So y'all stick and stay right here and let's talk about it. And we will be right back with you, okay? All right. Hey, and while you're listening, while I'm taking a break, I want y'all to listen to this ad that I love very much. And I want you to govern yourselves accordingly, okay? Okay, so we will be right back.
Free
Hi, this is Brenda White of The Brenda White Shows right here at Spreaker.com. And I would like to ask you something. What would you do if someone you loved had been wrongfully accused, tried, convicted, and imprisoned for a crime that they did not commit? Exactly. You would be screaming from the rooftops. Somebody help me. Somebody believe me. Somebody fight with me. They didn't do it. Well, that's exactly what happened to Gary Walker, David A. Banks, Kendrick Ken Barnes, Clinton A. Stewart, David A. Zerpolo, and Demetrius K. Harper, 5 black men and 1 white, whom we call the IRP6. We are on a mission. We are on a campaign to bring these 6 men home that have been unjustly imprisoned by a marriage between a corrupt corporation and a corrupt justice system. IRP is an acronym for Investigative Resource Planning. IRP Solutions was a small minority-owned company competing with large companies such as Lockheed Martin and International Business Machines, aka IBM, for multi-million-dollar government contracts. What should have been a civil litigation involving a debt collection case filed by staffing agencies turned into a criminal fraud case pursued by Denver Assistant U.S. Attorney Matthew T. Kirsch, tried in a federal court, and resulted in the IRP6 being sentenced to 7 to 11 years each in Florence Correctional Complex prison camp for mail and wire fraud. On October the 11th, 2011, Federal District Court Judge Christine Arguello, 10th Circuit, Denver, Colorado, forced an IRP executive to take the witness stand against his will, violating his Fifth Amendment right. The IRP executive, Kendrick Barnes, was one of 6 defendants, 5 black, 1 white, in the federal case accused of mail and wire fraud. Barnes was forced to take the witness stand. Who among us that has a business doesn't have debt? The IRP acknowledged that the debt owed the staffing agencies was a legitimate one, and they were on the verge of selling their phenomenal security software to write that debt to law enforcement across the country, including the NYPD, the FBI, the CIA, DHS, aka Department of Homeland Security, etc. But when their offices were raided on that fateful day, nothing pertaining to the warrants, such as the financial records, were even taken. Only the information from their computers pertaining to the software product. Where I come from, down in the country, our response to something like this is, this has got more stank on it than a pot of chitlins. Now, to read the full story and get a complete understanding of this injustice, please visit www.freetheirp6.org. Meet these men and their families, and then join the movement. Like our Facebook page, Free the IRP6, and then write on your social media pages at least once a day to show your solidarity. Free the IRP6. Let's bring these men home to their families where they belong. We thank you for listening, and we thank you for your support. This has been a Brenda White production right here at Spreaker, at Spreaker.com.
Just look around and say, right, I'm right behind now. Just like the bridge over troubled water. I'll be there, lay me down. Just like the bridge over troubled water. I will lay me
You are listening to Let's Talk About It, sponsored by the #1 broadcasting network on the net. And that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's .com. Okay, everybody, so welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me on the line to help me talk about it and to always help to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. Jackie, are you there?
I am here.
The monkeys and the crowd welcome you, as do we and your chat room.
Okay.
Once again, shout out to Mary, who I banded. Bye, boo, bye. Morgan Field, Sandra Johnson, DJ Tony Sanchez, David Capers, and the poor guy that said he couldn't hear. I don't know what happened to him, but all us can hear. And we hope he can get himself back in here, cause you know I'm cutting up. That Miss Uppity showed up in the chat room herself. Okay, so this is great. We're back, and now y'all, before Jackie gets to ranting with me and carrying on, I want to play for y'all. You know, I told you I was going to save the story that as I read off what we were going to talk to you about tonight. I started off telling you about we were looking forward to the story of young 12-year-old Madison Kimry, who schooled publicly at the Moral Mondays turnout, the governor of North Carolina. So Y'all be good, chat room. And now I'm going to unplug my mic so that y'all will hear the video of young Madison and her speech. This was absolutely wonderful. Okay, so let me get down here and hear the speech. And let me turn up the sound a little bit. Okay, and if you're ready, here we go.
Madison County, North Carolina Youth Rocks.
Yeah, I just got 10 times more nervous. Okay. It's really an honor for me to speak today here in my own hometown, but the reason I'm here today is because we young people have a serious leadership problem here in North Carolina. We have leaders here in our state who have shown that not only do they want to reduce the amount of participation by young people in our government, they also want to dismiss and belittle our voices. Part of the new voter ID law that was passed by the North Carolina General Assembly and signed by Governor Pat McCrory eliminated the ability of 16 and 17-year-olds to pre-register to vote. The legislation granting teenagers this ability passed with overwhelming bipartisan support in 2010. Teenagers were encouraged to pre-register through programs in their high schools and when they went to the DMV to get a driver's license. The elimination of pre-registration was one of the first parts of the new 56-page voting law to go into effect. The ability of 16 and 17-year-olds to pre-register and automatically be added to the voter rolls when they turned 18 ended on September 1st. For a lot of kids, this is the start of the school year. So ask yourselves, young people, why? Why did they want to take away our ability to pre-register so quickly? When pre-registration was debated in the North Carolina Senate, Senator Ruto of Mecklenburg County said pre-registration was confusing to teenagers. He said his own son was confused as to when he was supposed to vote. This senator, who has served over 7 terms, said he had to write a letter to the Board of Elections to clarify at what age his son was supposed to vote. Before Governor Pat McCrory signed the bill, he was asked about the elimination of pre-registration, and his answer was he hadn't read that part of the bill. After signing the bill, Governor McCrory's office issued a statement calling pre-registration a bureaucratic burden. I wanted to meet with our governor to discuss pre-registration, but he called my request to meet with him ridiculous and called me a prop for liberal groups. This is not leadership. The young people of North Carolina deserve better. I am not a prop. I am part of the new generation of suffragettes. And I will not stand silent while laws are passed to reduce the amount of voter turnout by young people in my home state. Listen to these words from our state song, Hurrah, hurrah, the good old North State. And the daughters, the queen of the forest resembling, so graceful, so constant, yet the gentlest breath trembling. And true light wooded heart, let the match be applied them. Oh, how they kindle and flame, oh, none know but who've tried them. Well, the match has been lit and my fire burns bright. I'm going to do everything I can to get the opportunity for North Carolina's teenagers to pre-register back by the time I turn 16 in 4 years. But I can't do this alone. I need other young people to contact their lawmakers. I need other young people to talk to their friends and family about the issue. I need the adults who can vote to ask their elected representatives and candidates seeking office how they plan to encourage young people to take an active part in our democracy. Young people, our state needs you. Our nation needs you. Pay attention. Find the issues that are important to you and take action. We are the future of North Carolina, and we deserve leadership that recognizes North Carolina's future and respects our ideas and our voices. The future of our state and our nation deserves no less than for us not to give up. Let's get out there and work. Forward together. Thank you.
Oh, Jackie, that was a little that was a little Jackie Morganfield. I absolutely love it. And sorry, y'all, the sound at the rally was bouncy and really bad, so nothing I could do after I got it. But anyway, let me try to read this to you. 12-year-old Madison Kimry spoke at Burlington, North Carolina's downtown amphitheater on Monday, October the 28th, 2013. She discussed the new North Carolina voting laws and very eloquently pointed out that there is a serious leadership problem in North Carolina, and the current state legislature, among other things, was trying to reduce voting participation of the state's youth. Thankfully, Madison does not have her head in the sand and wants to spread the truth. I am not a prop, said Madison. I am part of the new generation of suffragettes.
Right.
And Jack is going to tell us what suffragettes mean, or I will. I'm a new generation of suffragettes, and I will not stand silent while laws are passed to reduce the amount of young people in voter turnout in my home state. It's bright minds like this, young lady, that give me hope for the future. That's what Chris, I'm sorry, not Chris. I just talked about him, and this is where I got the story from. Oberman, Keith. Keith Oberman. Keith Oberman has a Facebook page, y'all. So y'all be sure and go over and like it. But you can find this story and the video on our Let's Talk About It page on Facebook. So just go over there, grab it, and share it on your page. You know, spread it around. Young 12-year-old Madison Kimry. Now, where's my definition? Jackie, go ahead and tell them for suffragettes. I have it. Suffragettes. A woman who worked to get voting rights for women in the past when women were not allowed to vote. So that's what young Madison claims herself to be, a suffragette. And she is wonderful. Okay, Jackie, what do you want to say about Allison, or whatever you want to move to? We're ready for you.
Well, I wanted to get back to the suffragette thing for just one more minute.
Okay.
Okay, because the women of Texas have been turned into suffragettes as well.
Yes, they have.
And I just want to point out, that what this young woman was talking about was that, they're trying to keep young people from voting. Well, in Texas, they're actually trying to keep women from voting. And it's sort of like they missed that whole constitutional amendment thing that passed in the 1920s. Okay?
Yes, they did.
And when you have judges and state senators, Wendy Davis,
woohoo, Wendy,
voting.
Yeah, I'm gonna start sending Wendy $5 myself as soon as I can every month.
Now, for all those of you who don't know, Wendy Davis is the Texas state senator that
pulled a filibuster.
Is a filibuster to defeat this draconian abortion bill that the state legislature passed.
Mm-hmm.
And she managed to run out the clock, but of course, the governor called a special session and they rammed it through the second time.
Uh-huh.
But Wendy Davis is now a candidate for governor in the state of Texas.
Yes,
now,
she is.
I want you guys to think about this. These women, like the judge who had trouble voting this past week,
mm-hmm.
she couldn't even cast a vote in her own courthouse.
Woo!
The woman has been voting for 50 years. Everybody there knew who she was, and yet she had to go through all of these things.
Yeah.
To try
and Jackie, mind you, they hadn't done nothing for the men in Texas. They ain't got to change the way they go to the poll.
No. But, now in Texas, they need all these different forms of ID. And I mean, this is some crazy.
Look, Jackie, they're asking for the umbilical cord.
Oh, yeah.
Down there. They going crazy.
Yeah. So, anyway, and you can't tell me that this was not done on purpose, because it was. And since Wendy Davis is voting and they know that women in Texas are really mad at them, just keep their asses from voting.
Jackie, do you think that they read history, or they read history, or?
Well, not the same history that we read, B.
I just don't understand. I mean, it wasn't enough that Todd Aiken got his ass roped like okra when he came out. Jackie. Jackie comes in on the second hour of the show because she has duties, family duties that she has to take care of, and Jackie wasn't obligation. Thank you.
Yes.
And look, see, Jackie, she's an all woman. I am my duty and my obligation. Thank you, Jackie. But Jackie wasn't here, as we talked about. Once again, I continue to give y'all the example of why I wouldn't even go to bed with one of them. Not even for money. They are hard-headed some of my bitches. Jackie just said that she don't think they read the history we read, because history is going to repeat itself. You think that after women have had the right to vote for how many years, Jackie?
Oh, let's see. It's really 100 years.
100 years.
It'll be 100 years and 7 years.
Okay, I was going to say 80 years, but Jackie said in 7 more years, it will be 100 years.
Yes.
So 93 years we've had the right to vote. And they think now that we have more women that ain't barefoot and pregnant all the time, and they believe that they going to overturn this. Oh, my goodness.
Because Brenda.
Well, Jackie, can you tell us? Okay, tell me
go
that.
Ahead. What else? Go ahead.
No, you probably fixing to say something funny. Say it.
No.
Well, I was going to ask you, can you tell us how important yesterday's vote was for the abortion bill that the judge shot down, that part of it?
Okay, well, it was the start. The judge did what made this ruling so significant is that the judge said that the provision that required doctors who worked at these women's clinics to have admitting privileges in local hospitals was a significant barrier to women getting an abortion if they wanted one, and it was therefore unconstitutional. He is the first judge to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That this provision is unconstitutional. Now, Texas is certainly not the first state who's passed a provision like this, because in Mississippi, they have effectively outlawed abortion in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know Mississippi is one of those states where if any place needs for women to be able to get abortions, it's Mississippi. Oh, did I say that?
In the words of Nina Simone, Mississippi, goddamn.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, but this judge, the federal district judge, said that the provision was unconstitutional.
Yeah,
okay, and of course, the state of Texas went immediately to the appellate court to try and get them to remove the stay, but the appellate court has said nothing about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And next they'll be trying to go to the Supreme Court with it again.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, this is where they intend to go.
Yeah, they vowed to do so.
I believe that with this Supreme Court, that Roe versus Wade will be overturned.
Yeah, that's where they want it to go.
Exactly. And that is one of the reasons why they have been passing all of these laws, because they want this to get in front of the Supreme Court, because they believe that the Supreme Court will overturn Roe v. Wade. But I have to tell you, Brendan, given the consequences of some of the decisions that the Supreme Court has made over the last couple of years, most notably Citizens United and gutting the Voting Rights Act.
Uh-huh.
Those people, even though sometimes they act like it, they don't live in a bubble, and they can see what's going on out here.
Mm-hmm. And they have their own legacies to worry about.
Exactly, because, Justice Roberts, he is in danger of being, what was that justice, who the Chief Justice who said that a black man had no rights that a white man need be concerned with?
I do not know. I have not heard that.
Oh, I think it was Tennant. I think that's what his name was.
Say that for me one more time, Jackie. What did he say?
That a black man has no rights that a white man needs to pay attention to or be concerned with. Hold on a minute and I'll look it up.
Okay.
To get you the exact quote.
Y'all, this is amazing. but as they go around the country with all this voters' rights and all this hatred towards women, again, Jackie, you weren't here earlier. Chris Matthews showed a poll this evening. 79% of America believes that Democrats should run the country.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust the Republicans anymore. And these are Republican voters too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
This is great news.
And here it is. A black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect.
Read it one more time.
Okay, I'm sorry. And this is what he said in reference to the Dred Scott decision.
And who was this?
It was, Taney. It was Chief Justice Taney.
Chief Justice Taney. Okay, go ahead. Say it real nice and slow.
That a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect.
A black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect.
Yeah, and that was Chief Justice Roger.
And he said that, and that meant what? That he didn't have to respect a black man's?
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
And this decision, came down in
DJ Tony, he do need his ass kicked.
Tony, he's been dead a long time. Decision was made in 1857. Okay.
Well, Jackie, I hope that Judge Roberts will, when we get this, that he will be the voice with sense. But the Republicans, the worst thing they could do was hate on him.
Well, yeah.
They gave him death threats, the Tea Party and everybody.
Yeah. When
he made this last crucial vote about gays having the right to marry. I think that was which one was they wanted to kill him?
Oh, it was the Affordable Care Act vote.
Oh yes, when he yeah. Well, they made a couple here lately that the right don't lack at all. Yes, but when he voted that the Affordable Care Act was law, man, he got death threats, and I said to him, keep it up, because after a while you're gonna make Judge Roberts think like the rest of us thinking all the way.
No, well, the other thing too about the Affordable Care Act, and I know that's not what we were talking about.
That's okay. Yeah, we can talk about whatever we want to.
That this idea of an individual mandate being unconstitutional, I want to let you guys know. So if anybody ever says to you, "Oh, that's unconstitutional, you can't do that," I want everybody to understand that at the dawn of the Republic, it was mandated that every male of fighting age have his own musket and all the stuff to go with it to fire it. And that means that, like, if you were 15 or over,
right,
it was mandated because, there wasn't really an army. They relied on a militia.
Right.
They needed everybody who could fight to be ready to fight, and they were mandated to have their own equipment. Every man. And the government didn't pay nobody nothing.
Okay.
With that, but they just passed that law. That was the law. And so this is at the beginning of the Republic, everybody. So, don't let them fool you.
Yeah,
Okay.
and all they do is recite just a couple of sayings from the Constitution. They couldn't tell you shit about the Constitution. These dumbasses, they hide behind the Constitution and religion. They don't know shit about the Constitution.
Well, and the thing
don't know shit about religion.
We know that they don't care about the Constitution.
Yeah.
Because they make shit up as they go along.
Make it up as they go along. And they don't respect a democracy.
No, absolutely not.
As we're getting down to coming up to, it's 10:31. We're getting ready to hear from Jackie on tyranny. But let me just say that laws don't mean shit to the Republicans and the Tea Party until it affects them.
Well, no, until it's something that they want to impose.
Yeah, something that they want to impose up on us. And as we listen to this bullshit every day, and I'm telling you, it's just getting to be such bullshit that I just, many times I want.
We were talking about before the break. It is getting to the point where people are just tuning them out.
Tuning them out. And Jackie, the subject tonight is somebody wake me up. I'm just so tired of this mess, and apparently the country is too. And I say again, these bastards have taken the 46, and I told Jackie behind the scenes when we were taking a break that I thought they had stopped at 43 until I heard the news today and heard that they had repealed Obamacare for the 48th time. Well, I didn't see a story about that. I saw it right up to 46, but
Brenda,
it
why
doesn't
write
even.
another story about it?
Huh?
I just said, why write another story about it?
Yeah, it might as well stop at 46. That's why I said Republicans have voted to repeal Obamacare and or delay and or dismantle 46, 47, 48 times, whatever. We don't even care. People don't even care anymore. And that's, again, that's where my scenario, my example, my model comes out as, to these is the hardest headed sons of bitches on the face of the earth. And that's why they couldn't be my lover. They don't listen. Why are you fucking with this? And Jackie, it costs us money every time they do it.
Well, Brenda, that's what they excel at, is costing us money with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, the effing fiscal hawks.
Yeah, that's what the Republicans have been doing for quite a long time.
The fiscal hawks just cost us $24 billion shutting down the government. And every time they take this new vote on repealing, dismantling, and delaying Obamacare, it's just bullshit because they can't do anything. The president will never sign it. Well, Brenda, the Senate will never pass it.
Brenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm yelling, aren't I?
You are.
Girl, that gets me riled up.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to cool out.
Okay, let me breathe.
Yes.
Yeah, breathe. Jack, are you ready to, whatever you want to say, but if you're ready, we're ready to hear about tyranny.
Okay. Well, tyranny just means that absolute power is granted to a single person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what a tyrant is. A tyrant is this one person who has absolute.
And they claim that the president has this power. They're always calling him a tyrant.
Yes.
So the right is always claiming that the president has this power. If he had this power, his jobs bill would have already been passed. The what's the new thing the president is on? Immigration reform.
Look, the president has asked for 3 simple things for the Congress to take up: immigration, the budget,
and jobs.
What other thing? It was immigration, the budget, and
his jobs bill, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't the jobs bill, but it was something else. Just very simple.
Was it a pay? What is it? The minimum wage?
No.
Well, did you hear just last night, Jackie? Mm-hmm. It was announced on TV, and now Walmart is running a big commercial.
About what?
Their Live Better slogan?
Yeah.
Child, they have raised their minimum wage.
So what?
I did not get that. I just was reading across the screen.
Well, that's amazing because, a few days before that, a story came out about how when employees come and ask for a raise, they tell them to go get food stamps.
Yes. And
furor about that. And
we had done a story here.
Yes, a long time ago about that.
About most of the folks working at Walmart was on food stamps.
Subsidize the Walton's fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will pay their employees enough for them to feed themselves.
Well, honey, they have raised their minimum wage for all of their employees. And I think it was, go ahead, Jackie, with tyranny, and I'll look at that story up. I forgot to jot it down so that I could announce it, because we don't want to just report on when these bastards just doing us wrong and not paying folks worth of shit. When they do something good, we want to report that. So go ahead, Jackie, with tyranny, and I will be checking on the Walmart pay.
I'm sorry, Brenda. I know that you're checking on this, but we were talking about this before we got back on air. And what was the name of that congressman that Tommy Lee Jones portrayed in the movie Lincoln?
Oh, Stevens.
Stevens, yes, Congressman Stevens from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And when, during the Civil War years, that was what the Democrats always called Abraham Lincoln a tyrant. He's a tyrant. He's a tyrant. And in the movie, Representative Stevens stands up and says, well, we know that he's not a tyrant because if he were, he would have your empty head on a pike in front of the White House. And so
Lord.
That's how we know that President Obama is not a tyrant.
Okay.
None of them be there. Okay?
And Jackie, they know he's not a tyrant. They know he's not a tyrant. They just said anything bad that their poor, low information voters will believe.
But Britta, one of the things too that I wanted to say about, I know we're just jumping around so much. And
that's okay. As long as we tell them what we're talking about, we can talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Because, there's been all this furor about the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
Since its launch, October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But, the thing that, I think the thing that's really starting to kill the Republicans' credibility is that so many Americans are being helped by the Affordable Care Act.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember I said that approval for the Affordable Care Act was going to continue to go up as people found out what a good deal it is for them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you, Brenda, I believe that is what is happening. Because there haven't been any death panels, there haven't been any, and
it hasn't given you cancer like one of those damn crazy ass Republicans stood up on the floor and said.
All this crazy mess that they have been talking. Now that the program is in its final stages of implementation, because a lot of the law was implemented before we got to the Band-Aid part.
And Jackie, have you heard of all the computer experts saying this is not shocking to us that they would have?
Yeah, I know. And I mean, in reference to the website, could it have been done better? Yeah. But apparently it is working better every day.
But the president and Kathleen are not web builders. You listen, this happened to me when I started to build my first website. I had a fool that said that he worked for the AT&T. He was one of their web builders. And I checked it out and and he told me he could do this website for me for $2,000. I immediately sent him all the material, $500 deposit. And when you finish, when will you have it up? 14 days. Jackie, you remember that. And it was just abominable. It was horrendous. It was a shame. And if Jackie hadn't been there, I might have shot Jean's telephone.
Yeah,
and took it out on the phone. And Jackie, at that moment, touched me on the shoulder as I was going into the 29th orbit and said, Aunt B, hang up the phone. It's 14 days, and this man, he couldn't even put up a construction page. Brenda White and the White Boys under construction. So you trust these people, and you hire them, and I mean, so what? But again, Jackie.
This page is really complex.
All of the gurus, Jackie, are coming on TV saying this is huge, it's complex, and it was weighed down by them expecting 50,000 people by getting 20 million coming to the site to see 10 million.
Well, and the thing about it is that the traffic has been very heavy, and also the site interacts with the IRS database, Social Security database. So it has a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
And
and they will be fixed.
Yeah, I was about to say. So even though could it have been done better? Sure, it could have been done better. But they have a team on it now. They're working on it.
And like you say to me, Jackie,
it's my understanding that it improves every day.
Mine too, Jackie.
And going, well, how many enrollees do you have? How many do you have signed up? They're talking about through that website.
We don't even know. We don't even know. Well, so what? So why do you listen? Why the hearing? Why do you need to know how many? You don't care.
Well, Brenda, wait. I don't know how many people will have signed up. Through the federal website. Okay, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But in California, they're clocking 30,000 a week. Okay.
Well,
in Kentucky, they're clocking a lot. In Washington State, in the states, in the 14 states that are running their own exchanges.
Well, I'm proud of
numbers are racking up.
I'm proud of the Democrats too, Jackie, because they're standing up. The senator that stood up and called this monkey court. They are really letting these bastards have it, as they should, because it is a monkey court. What are you holding hearings for about the website not working? You should be happy about that.
Yeah, and it's not, listen, Brenda, it's just like, I don't know if I've told this on the show before, but in California, they have people like in Walmart, in Target, in Safeway. Okay, do you understand me?
Yes, you told me last week.
Set up with big old signs that say, "See me about health insurance." Mm-hmm. They have the navigators in all these high traffic areas. I went to the grocery store today, and there was a family sitting at one of these tables filling out forms.
DJ Tony says they had no problems in Illinois with the website, and he said he got his insurance with no problem. You see, people, all these people that want insurance, I am one of those people that have to pay out my pocket too. Yeah. You know, I got a life insurance, hospitalization, but if I go to the doctor or the hospital, I got to pay out of my pocket too. People want this insurance, and no website is going to drive them. The longer this goes, the more people going to lie.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's a lie. Listen, I'm sure that when Orville Wright and them first flew the first plane crash, people going to stay away from that bullshit. Didn't happen. And as many planes as has gone down since then, you still got your ass late trying to get on a plane in the airports to this day. It's just a lie. Don't buy into the hype, people. Just keep on trying. And Jackie, the other story that came out was that when Bush launched his new Medicaid program, mm-hmm. that they had just as many problems.
Yeah.
The Democrats didn't want this thing, but the Democrats said, okay, it passed, it's the law, and let's see what we can do to make it better for our people. Yeah. And now today, everybody loves Medicaid. The system rolls smoothly. It's going to be fixed. And all the millions that have signed up, it's going to be millions more.
Yeah.
And it makes my butt want to dip a snuff to hear this shit. I'm so glad I'm having to practice with my Tina Turner music right now a lot, because sometimes, girl, I need somewhere to go. Mm-hmm. Watching this mess. And somebody said yesterday, Joe Scarborough, the president, needs to take responsibility. He's already done that. They just freaking evil and crazy. And you know the things that they call Barack Obama all these names. But does anybody have any stories about Barack doing evil things to them? Does anybody have any stories where Barack says, I won't talk with him, and my goal is to see that all them bastards fail?
Yeah.
Has anybody heard Barack Obama doing that? No. He's constantly trying to work with these bastards, and he better than me.
Isn't that the truth?
Because I would go granny on them. Hit my dress tail, tell them to kiss my ass, and get glad. Do whatever I got to do to help the American people. And if the American people, which I don't even have to say if they don't, because they do see, you bastards are sitting up here voting for the 48th time to repeal, dismantle, delay Obamacare, which you can't do shit about it, but you're costing the American people, taxpayers, more money, but they don't see you fighting for a jobs bill every day.
But the thing about it is this, too. I wonder how bad the Republicans are going to have to get whipped before they get it.
Well, Jackie, beating the brakes off of them ain't enough. I guess you're going to have to beat the brakes and the nuts off of them.
Yeah. Well, you know, Brenda, I
ain't never met nobody this hard-headed. I told you, they can't be my lover. Hard-headed. No, baby, don't touch it right there. That's sensitive. I don't like that. You do like it. I like it. You like it.
Yeah. Well, look, Brenda, you know, one of the races that one of the elections that people are looking at very closely is the race for governor in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
The new poll came out today, and now Ken Cuccinelli is 12 points behind Terry McAuliffe.
Girl, I saw it. I just laughed with the audience about that at the top.
They're losing well, I'll put it this way. in the 3 statewide offices that are up for election this time, which is, governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, all the Republicans are behind.
Your mama wrote, Mr. Obama does not have to do those things because Ray Charles can see what's happening and he is blind and dead.
Yeah, amen.
Very well said, Morganfield. We got that.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just amazing, Jackie. And, Brenda,
I want to just point out to everyone the significance of a clean Democratic sweep in the state of Virginia.
Please do, girl.
That is something that has not happened since Reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That will be a very strong indicator for where the Republicans are. We're talking about Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
The southeast of the South.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And just like as the polls continue to show that fewer and fewer people are into what the Republicans are doing and all that other stuff, and they're thinking that their gerrymandered districts will at least keep them in control of the House, I have to tell you, Brenda, I have begun to doubt that.
It ain't looking good for them. And it ain't looking good for the House in Washington either. With the polls coming out today that 79% of people believe that Democrats should run the country.
Yeah.
They want the whole thing to be.
It's just like we were just talking about, what history have they read?
Mm-hmm.
These people have made their own reality.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, they have told such gargantuan lies about President Obama, about the Affordable Care Act, about Benghazi, about Fast and Furious.
And if you don't think they told some lies, y'all, I saw this person on the floor in Congress that said Obamacare will give you cancer. I just looked up at TV like I thought I was in the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah.
I mean, Jackie, who with any common sense even think that or say it? A law gives you cancer?
Well, Brenda, listen.
Kills children, kills women. Let's not do that, people. Let's love people.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is they have let the Republicans have let their crazies take over the party.
Jackie, they have taken over the zoo and running wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting. Oh, I know what it was. The president asked the Republicans to do a farm bill, immigration, and a budget. That was it. Okay?
Mm-hmm. That's right, Jackie. That's his big thing.
Yeah, get that done before the end of the year, and, let's call it a year. Okay? If you guys can just get those 3 things done. And what's interesting is the House is not taking up any of those things.
Did you see Rachel Maddow last night as she showed that they're going to work 19 more days between now and the end of the year?
Yeah.
The rest of the days is partying, and tomorrow we didn't really have anything on the book, so I think we take off tomorrow too, Wednesday. I'm like, put some on the book. Put the jobs bill on the floor. Put
Brenda.
the farm bill on the floor.
Brenda.
Yeah, sorry.
Call me stuff, baby.
Put immigration on the floor.
Look, put immigration. Yeah, it's going to be all right. But, that is, and when asked about the immigration bill, one of the congressmen said that they didn't have time
yeah.
to do it. And
what about Rubio, Jackie? This fool co-sponsored the immigration bill. Now he's voting against his own bill. Because the Tea Party done told him to do so. They are amazing.
When he worked on, I have to tell you that what I know about the immigration bill, and no, I have not read it all. I've just read the summaries.
Mm-hmm.
But, I have some issues with the immigration bill, but it's better to have something than nothing.
Than nothing. Thank you. Look, Jackie, just like people that said that some people might have an issue with the Affordable Care Act, but what we're getting is better than nothing.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about it, Brenda, is simply that we have to have it. And the reason that we have to have it is because it will help to put some brakes on the inflation of healthcare costs.
Okay, and
which are just
Jackie,
outrageous.
and
Now,
it's
I
going
heard a
to.
story on NPR yesterday where it said that Medicare premiums were going to be the same again this year. And they have been the same, like, for the past 3 years. I mean, since the Affordable Care Act was passed.
Well, Dr. Redliner explained it to us very well here. We get it. We understand it. And Dr. Emmanuel is explaining it very clearly. We get it. He's one of the advisors. And, you know, we don't like insurance. We don't want to pay for that either. But in the end, it is real good when we have insurance when stuff happens to our car, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody hit us or we get killed in our cars. You pay your insurance bill. Your family might get a couple of $1,000,000 when you suddenly die and leave them in the lurch. Insurance is a good thing now. We all agree.
Yeah.
But Jackie, now I need you to get to tyranny. And then
I'm sorry,
I want to, that's okay, because I knew you would come in and have to say something about the things that I talked about because they make you talk about them.
Yeah, I can't.
You have to. Yeah. And
anyway,
so get to tyranny and then.
Power, the traditional, the Webster's Dictionary definition is absolute power invested in one person. Right? But, you know, there's also one of the things that the founders were concerned about in establishing a democracy is tyranny of the majority, right? So, you know, you have majority rule with minority rights. Okay? So that's the way the whole system was set up. Now, this issue about President Obama being a tyrant is, you know, there's more to that than just, oh, he's tyrannical and he's my way. It always kills me when they say, President Obama can't be just my way or the highway. It's like, he's never been like that.
He's never been like that.
Now, when he said, I'm not going to negotiate while you're holding the country hostage, that in my mind is just intelligent. Intelligent.
Okay. And it makes sense completely.
Yeah, but, you know, if you want to talk about tyranny, let's talk about the voter suppression that the Republicans have been engaged in now very seriously for the last 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. I mean, going crazy with it, Jackie.
But, and let's talk about how we discussed this last week or week before about the difference between a democracy and a republic. Okay? Now, as crazy as these people sound, one of the things that I'm pretty sure of is that they know that they are a distinct minority of opinion in the United States. And that does not bother them because they are so sure that they are right. And they are superior to everyone else, and they should be running things because the rest of us are just stupid.
Hey, Jackie, as you said that, that reminded me of Richard Pryor just came to my head where he said, he must be a fool because that's all he do.
Yeah.
So, you know, they know that they're the minority and they don't care. I got this off of Keith Olbermann's page today. It said the teabag zone, not the Twilight Zone. It has Rod Serling's picture there, but it says the teabag zone. Imagine, if you will, a country taken hostage by an entitled minority that believe they and only they have the right to run the country. Just imagine. That's what they believe, Jackie. And that's what they want the president to do. You are, look, boy, you little pickaninny you. We gonna tell you what we gonna do and you gonna do it. It's like Harry Reid said, they don't get it. You lost. We hold 2-1. We're the majority. And what you need to be doing is trying to work with the president on some of these things because he's certainly willing to compromise.
But Brenda, listen, you know, if you have gone out in public and called him a Muslim, Kenyan, Mau terrorist,
Juju, right?
What is it you can say from the Juju tribe?
From the Juju tribe.
Yeah. You know, how on earth are you supposed to work with somebody like that? And I mean, they have whipped this little base that they have into such a frenzy.
Yeah.
That, you know, look, they can cannot control their base.
They can't control them, and they are getting as
so,
petty as the
those
base.
are the people that sent those people to Washington. There's no controlling them.
Nope. And they continue to say, Jackie, we weren't sent to Washington to be nice and to cut deals. We were sent here to destruct. We were sent here to make noise. And that's all they can do is make noise because they can't get a damn thing passed. And apparently they don't want to live in this country in peace.
Well, not in peace with us. Anyway.
No, not in peace with us. That's right. They want to get rid of us.
Yeah.
And any
well, Brenda, it's not really that they want to get rid of us, okay? Because they still want folks to, do for them.
Oh yeah.
They just don't want us to have a say.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the say over you, and it's just amazing to me the cockamamie crap that they come up with. And I keep telling them, Jackie, shout out Tea Party Republicans. Jackie and I can tell you how to win.
Yeah. We
can tell you. Well, I could tell you now. Look and act sane. Don't be petty. Don't call
Brenda, the other thing, too, is that, you remember, I don't know if we talked about this on the air or not, but how there are elements of the Tea Party who are really using this white separatist, white supremacist rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a clip of a man who is running for Congress from southern Alabama, who stood up in front of a crowd of people and said that the country was in mortal danger, that the United States was the last great Western Christian empire.
Yes. It's amazing, isn't it?
That anybody would say that shit in public is beyond me.
And here's
maybe they think we don't know what he's talking about.
And here's Ted Cruz. Some call me extremist because I stand for things. It's not that I'm overly patriotic or anything. We know that, dog. I just do what God tells me to do.
Uh-oh, God is talking to us.
He speaks to me, literally, in my head. Quoted by Ted Cruz himself. And I want to thank him, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with him when I read that.
Yes.
He ensured your crazy ass and those that follow you will never be in church. See, I like it when that Jim Jones shit talk come out of him.
That's exactly right, B.
Yeah, because see, I love him. I would vote in the Republican primary just to help him get the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So whomever he comes up against on the Democratic side, his ass gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna wear this out right here. This is kind of Jim Jones talk, and everybody know what happened to everybody that followed Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Down there in that jungle. You'd rather had monkeys turn loose on your ass than that fool. Some call me, y'all don't forget this, an extremist because I stand for things. It's not that I'm overly patriotic or anything. We know that because he showed us he don't give a damn about this country.
Yes.
That's why he was holding his Canadian citizenship. I just do what God tells me to do. Ooh, this is all. He speaks to me literally in my head. And if you look in his eyes, Judge Judy said, look in the eyes. Don't y'all see the need for medication in his eyes?
I was about to say he needs psychological help very badly.
I love this. I'm going to remind folks of this daily. You see this fool? Look, Jackie, I am a child of God. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I believe in him. I trust him. But I can't run the country on that.
Yes.
Telling everybody else.
Yeah.
God talks to me in my head and he told me to kill all y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and the thing about it is if you read your Bible, Jesus didn't tell anybody that was the way to evangelize.
Look, I got a sister. I'm going to put him right over there in that home with her. Jackie, you cannot run the country on your religious beliefs.
So,
If you're going to be president, like President Barack said, I'm your president too, Republicans, Tea Partiers, KKKers. You know?
right, everybody's president.
Yeah.
Right.
And
although to be or not.
Yeah, and although he starts off his mornings by his staff and he holding hands and having prayer, he doesn't come up with that kooky shit.
Yeah.
Nope, all of y'all that's had fornicating, we're going to put y'all on an island. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. The Lord told me. The first time I hear a president tell me the Lord told him, and I love and trust the Lord, but the Lord don't whoop you to come to him. He ain't going to make you come. It is a personal choice.
Yes.
A personal and spiritual choice between you and the Lord. You ain't got no business.
These guys are just like those Islamic fundamentalists,
Yeah.
You don't believe what I believe, I'll kill you.
Yeah. I mean, what's all the in God we trust and all this stuff America's supposed to be standing for? They doing this shit all under the name of the Lord as they try to ruin another people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've pissed themselves off really good with the Hispanics.
Oh, yeah. They're done.
And Waterboy, what's his name? Ted, not Ted.
Marco Rubio.
Yeah, that's Waterboy. The jacket. I still haven't figured out why did he duck down and sneak up on the glass, on the bottle of water. Why didn't he just look in the camera very intelligently and say, "Excuse me.
Yeah, well, Brenda,
I need a drink." What was it?
It is amazing.
What was it? Now you see me, now you don't. Why did he duck?
Brenda, I don't know, but the thing that I do know is that it is amazing how naked this guy's ambition is. Him,
Jackie,
Ted Cruz,
can you see him?
Rand Paul. Oh, and Brenda, I got to tell you about the story I heard today that cracked me up.
What?
Rand Paul has been plagiarizing his speeches from...
Yes! He gone Herman Cain, Pokemon, but he plagiarized, who, Madonna?
No, look, straight out of Wikipedia, sweetie.
Oh, that's right. It was Herman Cain. Madonna sang the Pokemon song, and he got that from her song, but he plagiarized Wikipedia. Go ahead, Jackie, with that story.
Brenda, and the thing about it is that he's done it over and over again, and I mean, he's just given speeches that are verbatim what's written on Wikipedia site. Now, the thing about it, too, is like Wikipedia, you have to be kind of circumspect about what you read on Wikipedia.
Thank you, Jackie, because they don't give the facts all the time.
Yeah, because it's open source. Okay, so people can put anything on Wikipedia. Look,
Wikipedia has Big Bill Morganfield, the only child of Muddy Waters. What the fuck? No, I know them boys.
Yeah, you know that he's not the only one, exactly.
Yeah, and I know that daughter, too. She lives in Orlando.
Yeah.
I met her. No, Wikipedia, wrong. Big Bill Morganfield is not Muddy Waters' only child.
Yeah, so anyway, so that was initially reported on Rachel Maddow's show. Mm-hmm. But of course, it has been picked up on all these other news sites now. And his local newspapers, everybody's trying to get some kind of quote or something from the senator's office about this shit, and they're not saying anything.
Because he let one of his bright senior writers who was sick of that shit go on Wikipedia and say he had said this.
I know, Brenda.
Jackie, I don't even know if that fool knows that one of his senior speechwriters, if he got one, went on Wikipedia, and if he did, shame on you.
Well, but the thing about that too, Brenda, think about how well our president writes. Okay.
Yes.
And even though he does have a speechwriter, okay.
Yeah. He gives the speechwriter his stuff, and the speechwriter
goes through and he edits his stuff, and sometimes he just writes speeches himself if it's something that he's really passionate about or whatever.
Yeah, and
writes it himself.
And you use a monitor so that you don't forget the very important things that you want to say, Sarah Palin. So you don't stand out there and say, hour.
You're an idiot.
I so damn, she forgot to write in the palm of her hand today. You're an idiot. That's why he uses the monitor.
One of the things I was saying to my daughter about that too, I've had to give speeches for most of my life, right? And I learned this really wonderful technique, and I believe my mom taught this to me. She can tell you, she's in the chat room, she can tell you if she did teach me this. But I never, wrote out a whole speech, all right? I would just write down on a little card what points that I wanted to make, and put those points in logical order, stand up in front of the folks and talk. If you know your subject matter, it works out.
And if you believe in what you're talking about, if you know what you're talking about, you can talk it. Jackie, that's just how I do this show. I told you on the phone about 30 minutes to an hour before the show, I scrolled the internet and saw the subjects, or I jotted down something I heard on news shows, and then I went and read them. And then I put in order my points of what I was going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
And
and it's as simple as that.
And because if you read it, if you understand it,
you
get it, you can just tell the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Jackie, your mom said that was Ollie's way of speaking, so Ollie taught you that.
Oh, Ollie taught me that.
Yeah, and it's very simple. And Jackie, if you're passionate about it, see, the president doesn't need that when he comes out to talk about how bad folks need jobs. How bad people need food. And see, that farm bill is so important, y'all, because there's a lot of stuff in there about food stamps and WIC, isn't it, Jackie?
Yes, that's right.
And
what
we really care.
What the Republicans want to do is they want to separate the farm subsidy part, which they like, because a lot of them get paid from that.
Yeah, one of the congressmen
to give a lot of money to corporate farmers.
One of the congressmen get $3.2 million. One of the congressmen, Jackie, gets $3.2 million for his family's farm.
I know.
It's amazing.
And that's fine.
And they want to do this.
Why is that fine, Brenda?
It ain't fine. They want to do this.
Why is that a good thing, but it's not a good thing to feed a hungry child?
Look, Romney had all the money in the world, and what did he say? What the Olympics needs is money. And who's got money? The government. We need to go to Washington and get $400 million. I ran the Olympics, and where did you go to get the money? Washington, because that's all they think the government is meant for them.
Exactly. What is it you say, Brenda? That's my hoe.
That's my hoe. The government is my hoe. It ain't your hoe.
Yeah.
And they want to fight you like some pimp on the street over the government. Well, why can't the government?
Also, I heard a story this evening that got me about that too. That Mitch McConnell and Tom Coughlin of Oklahoma, Mr. McConnell from Kentucky and Mr. Coughlin from Oklahoma, voted against aid for victims of Hurricane Sandy. And then they had their asses in New York tonight raising money.
For what?
Trying to raise money.
Raise money for what?
For the Republican Party.
No, he didn't.
Yes, they did.
Oh, Jackie. I sure pray they don't get nothing.
Well, I sure hope they don't either, because if those folks in New York and New Jersey have forgotten, somebody needs to remind them.
They are some amazing creatures, again, Jackie. It's just amazing. And they always get caught. Just like the man who was just slamming Obamacare and Medicaid and got 10 children, and all 10 of them are on Medicaid.
Yes. They are not even marginally concerned about being
outed.
Hypocrites.
Or do they think that, Jackie, people are reading today much more than ever before? The internet is open 25/8. Not 24/7, but 25/8. And people are reading and passing, and all somebody got to do is write a tweet about your ass, and your career could be over. And this is amazing. His family gets and I'm going to come with the details on this congressman next week. His family and the one whose children, all 10 of them, are on Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
But the congressman that they want to break up the farm bill, that's why they tried to do the government. And that's why the people stood with the president. Oh, no. If the government ain't open back up for everybody, we ain't opening up some.
Yeah.
And then they tried to find these stories that would help them. The veterans, oh, they can't even see the war memorial.
No, Brenda, the thing that got me about that is that, of course, these stories were going to start to come up. And who were the first people to run their asses down there? The people who were so happy about the government shutdown.
Michelle Bachmann. And she said that they would just get it with joy.
Mm-hmm.
They shut the government down. We did. And as soon as folks started saying, what the? And like you said, Jackie, Virginia, that's a government town, basically.
Oh, yeah.
State. I mean, they've got this base there that they supply what, 800,000 jobs or something? Girl, when that didn't work out so good, then Barack Obama shut the government down. That's what Ted Cruz. I didn't shut the government down. Barack Obama and the Democrats shut it down. I said, do these motherfuckers know that there's the internet, there's your cell phone, there's your TV, there's your radio? Do they know that we got them on tape cheering? Hey, we did it.
Yes.
We shut that government down. They had no idea how much the government really did. And then that piece of, as my friend, the words of my friend Craig Murray from Canada, by way of Scotland, wrote a note and put him up there. The reason the park is closed, you piece of shit, no good last son of a bitch. Is that you closed down the government? He out there, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. She said, well, I'm not, sir. And I just loved it. She was so respectful and so calm. And then the biker said, the park is closed because you closed it. You ought to, and I don't have a job. I'll tell you why you don't have a job. Know why you don't have a job? Let me get out of here. Right, that's right, go. Because you have the reason he doesn't have a job, y'all shut the government down, and they wanted to open it back up in pieces. And I said, oh, no, Mr. President, if we got to go over this cliff, let's just go. But don't you start giving them back. These poor children. You don't give a fuck about poor children. Y'all don't give a shit about kids eating. You just shut down on that sequester. So many Head Start programs. They closed pantries when they did that shit, and they don't care about these people eating. Mm-mm. All they need is to have money so they can fly their hotel island and blow liquor out the assholes.
Oh, Brenda.
Well, they did it, Jackie. That's the truth. They set it up. Look, they did that shit in Iraq and got caught setting the shit on fire. Oh, well, sorry.
Okay.
You're just saying I shouldn't be so detailish.
Please.
I do get, Jean said that's the pre-K program. Thank you, Jeannie. What I said. They closed the damn kindergarten. What I say? Jean wrote that's pre-K. The pre-K. Okay, y'all, listen. Jackie and I are back again, going crazy.
No, Jackie's not going crazy at all. It's some people. Okay,
Jackie, do you have? I wouldn't choose until you were here. In case you had, do you have the dumb ass to this comment that you would like to cite, or do you have a Negro, please, for the top of the
Yes, I do, Brenda. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, I have to just look.
Oh, you do?
I want to make sure I get it absolutely right.
Okay. I'm gonna let you, and tyranny was Jackie's word of the week.
Okay.
Okay, so she's already taught us about tyranny.
Okay, because I'm trying to find the senator who said that Harry Reid is an asshole.
Blowing liquor out of it.
With the liquor. Okay.
Hey, but when Jackie said asshole, it sounded so nice, didn't it? I mean, it's just, Tony said truth hurt.
I'm sorry.
Tony said, yes, they did. They did that, didn't they, Tony? There were pictures of them doing that.
Look, everybody knows they did it.
Well, I just want to remind y'all what these some bitches is doing with the money.
Okay, listen.
Okay, Jackie, but before you say that, I'm going to start, as of this week, Madison has inspired me. So just like we have the Negro Please list winner of the week and the dumbass comment winner of the week, we are going to start having our LTAI star of the week.
Okay.
A citizen of the week, okay? And tonight I will kick that off by naming young 12-year-old Madison Kimry as she schooled the governor of North Carolina. Way to go, Madison. You started something here today and you are the first one. Love it. Okay, Jackie, go.
Very excellent. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The Negro Please Award goes to...
Hold that. Let me do the drum roll. Okay.
The Negro Please Award goes to Oklahoma Republican Senator Tom Coburn.
Woo! Tom Coburn. Wait. Tom Coburn, hang on. I need the monkeys to cheer for him. Okay, the crowd and the monkeys and me. Tom Coburn. Woo! Now, what this fool do? What'd he say?
He said that Senator Harry Reid is an absolute asshole.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he was the one, I'm sorry, I said his name was Senator Coughlin. It's Senator Coburn from Oklahoma.
Yes.
Who went to a fundraiser in New York.
Yeah, Coburn's supposed to be one of the respected
sensible fundraiser for the Young Republican Club.
Didn't he lead the gang of 8, Jackie?
Who?
4 or 5 Coburn. When they were trying to settle, work things out with Barack on the last debt ceiling. Wasn't Coburn? Is that?
No.
Okay, that's not him. Okay. All right, so he said Harry Reid was an asshole for what?
Yeah, he says there's no comedy that means that they're not friendly with Harry Reid. I think he's an absolute asshole. That's what he said.
Okay, so Tom Coburn, the winner of the Negro Please list. And is that the dumbass comment of the week?
That is the dumbass.
Okay, Jackie just knocked it out of the park there. I can't believe. Well, I think that my Fox and Fools are going to be my Negroes of the week.
Oh, tell me.
Because they accused the president of staging the pregnant woman's fainting.
I know.
So they are my winners. So I'll allow you to have your winner of the Negro Please list, and I'll have mine. And Fox and Fools just won mine. They hate the president so much, Jackie, that they can't even respect him for being just a human being. Who would let a man, a woman, especially a pregnant woman or a pregnant man or pregnant chimp faint and fall out and just let them drop and knock their ass out? Don't nobody care. What was that? That is just sheer hatred.
Yeah,
she was a stage and a prop. And so, Jackie, I'm going to put it on your Miss Uppity page.
Okay.
And you can read. She wrote a very long story of how she came to be standing behind the president that day.
Okay.
And it's really, it's just amazing. They don't check on nothing. They don't ask nothing. I mean, why didn't they interview the woman? Why didn't they ask her? No, because it's that little pickaninny.
Yeah.
It's that little juju.
It's more fun to lie on him, Brenda.
Yeah, it's the faraway Kenyan.
Yes.
Any opportunity they have to tell a lie on him or try to make him look less than a human being,
yes,
they take it. That was staged. That was a prop to the pregnant woman about to faint. It was hot out there. She pregnant.
And she has diabetes.
And she has diabetes. And pregnant folks can faint just because they're pregnant.
That's right. And so pregnant diabetics, that's...
Yeah. And so she wrote a blog, Jackie. This is how it all got started. She wrote a blog on the about the diabetics, and the ADA, the Diabetics Association, read her blog and they sent it to the White House.
Okay.
And from there, the White House contacted the ADA and asked them where we get in touch with. They told them, they sent her an email and asked her if she would come and stand with the president as he spoke last Monday on the affordable care. And she was so excited, but you'll read the story. It was wonderful. And they ain't going to take it back.
Oh, no, they never do.
But how freaking petty was that?
Well, but Brenda, that's all it is just pettiness. And, the other thing, too, I want to say, I was thinking about this recently when John Boehner was talking about the Affordable Care Act. And, it was too big and too complex. And Mitch McConnell was talking about how, it was just too big for the government to handle. And they always talk about how the government spends too much money, and they never say what their evidence is for that. That, they're saying that the government that we get and that we want costs too much. And, the thing I was thinking is that it isn't that the government is too big, it's just that they are too small.
They're too small, and they're too hateful. They don't give a damn about other people. And there's nothing worse than being sick and can't get to see a doctor and can't get the medication that can relieve and cure what's ailing you. There's nothing worse than that. And these but I think I heard the other day, Jack, about 2 days ago, that they working on a healthcare bill. We got one, dog. What the fuck is wrong with them? No, when you should have been working on it was when the president was working on it.
When the president was asking you.
Let's let this be bipartisan. And he always asks them, Jackie.
Yeah.
Let's let it be. He said just yesterday, let's do immigration reform, and let's do it in a bipartisan way.
Oh, but Brenda, they can't do immigration reform because I tell you this, if they take up immigration reform, that's going to tear the Republican Party up.
Yep. And Jackie, I had a very good friend who lives here and that I love dearly, that I think I'm not mad about anything, but I think we've lost the way because of my vote. Our friendship lost its way because of my vote for the president. And he said to me one day, as we were talking about this immigration thing during the first 4 years of Barack, he said to me, I know what'll stop it. And I said, what? And he said, start shooting them some bitches right there on the wall. And I was so shocked that this man that I'd known and loved for so many years would say that.
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of what Rush Limbaugh says. And I realized that what a lot of white people and the sick Negroes from the Where Do They Find These Negroes list don't see other people as human beings.
Yeah.
If they're not white like you, they don't see those people as human beings, loving their children, would do anything for their children, will walk 100 miles to get their children to freedom and happiness. They just don't see it.
Yeah.
Because he said if they'll just start shooting them at the border, just shoot them down. Start shooting right there at the wall and the fence, they'll get it. Jackie, that's not true.
No.
People have been dying. What's worse than shooting them at the border is them crossing the desert?
Yeah.
Crossing the desert is just like having somebody shoot you.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it, too, is that I think a lot of people really don't know what that area is like.
No, they don't.
When they did all of their border security at, the main points of entry, okay, that drove people further out into the desert. And that has not stopped people from trying to get here.
It ain't stopped them, Jackie. They die every day trying to get here. And for you to suggest that, hell, just shoot them. It really gave me an insight. And I ain't talking about all white folks, because there are a lot of white folks I love. But for these particular white folks, that can just say, shoot them, kill them. I realize what's happening there. They don't see people of another race or another nation, or they don't see them as human beings like you and I see each other, and like you and I see them. Mothers love their children. Fathers love their children. They don't see those people thinking the same way we think.
No.
And they don't see them that way. And that's how you can easily shoot them. And you can easily suggest that they be shot.
Yeah.
Trying to get to a country where they can work and pay for their kids to have an education. I watch this show, Drugs Inc. I don't know if anybody else watches Drugs Inc., but I watch it on the Travel Channel. And the other night I was watching, and there was this man down in the jungle of Nicaragua, wherever, and he grows the coca leaves, for cocaine. That's how he farms, and that's how he makes a living. Now, he doesn't do cocaine, and none of his friends. But this man goes through unbelievable stuff. He has to plow and plant and then grow this crop and hope that the troops that are being funded by America doesn't come in and see the crop and blow it up, burn it up, He goes through all of this, Jackie, and then he goes out all by himself and he picks all these coca leaves. And then he drags them to this place, and then he takes a weed whacker and he whacks up the coca leaves as fine as he can whack them up, like whipping some up in a blender. They got there, and then they have to put gasoline on them to draw the coca out. And then he has to squeeze the gasoline out of that and turn all this coke, and then he has to make it into a paste, and then he has to let the paste dry, and then he wakes up and he scrapes all the paste and stuff out and chop it up and put it in a bag, and he makes $50.
$50.
Yes, for
$50.
Yes, for a kilo or some of cocaine. They get about a nickel.
Okay, whatever.
They get about a nickel.
I was about to say somebody's ripping him off.
Well, what's he gonna say? He's got to sell it to the drug folks.
Yeah, he's got to sell it to the.
And if he argues about it, they'll kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
And believe it or not, that $50, he says, allows his family to eat and his children to get an education, and that's all he wants for his children, a better life. And here he was, he couldn't speak English. He's out here in the jungle, I'm sure, facing anacondas and everything. And you see what this man goes through just to feed his children, and he's not a drug addict.
Yeah.
But he said that no other crops there, they can make enough.
Get as much money.
Yeah, he said they're already making a nickel a gram or something. And he goes to growing all this stuff to end up with $50.
Wow.
And then the drug lords make 50 billion.
Yes.
And they got little farmers all over doing that. And them doing it too. It's an amazing thing. But yeah, that's how a lot of the right and the Tea Partiers see the immigration thing. Just kill them.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing, just kill them.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done all their lives, Jackie. The white man has stormed across Europe, America, and came from wherever else, and just whatever they want, they killed them and took it.
Yeah.
Just like Nicole, your cousin and my niece put up the other day, let's not forget who Columbus really was. And then she connected you to the history of Columbus. And she said he was a rapist, a murderer, this or that. And I had to go read the story. And then I want to encourage people to, oh my goodness, to read this story. If I can find it, oh my goodness, I think I saved it. Jackie, there was a woman once, and she was kidnapped and brought to this country. And because she had extremely large genitals or something, oh, do you know this story? She was a black woman. It was an amazing story. Nicole put it up and said, read your history. I thought if I just mentioned that much to you, you might know who I was talking about. I forgot her name. I'm scrolling my Facebook page right now to see if I can find it. But what an amazing story. But I'm going to suggest to my listeners from now on, and I'll grab it for you next week, guys. But I want y'all to go read the history on this Black woman. It was amazing. Oh, Tony says you got it, Tony. Great. Tony, put it, drop it on my page real quick so that I can tell the listeners what it is before Jackie and I go. That story was just amazing. And I had never heard of her. And obviously you haven't, Jackie, because just me giving you that little history of why she was kidnapped and brought back here. Yeah, she was used as a sideshow act. Jackie?
I'm here.
Okay, so, I think Tony is trying. Tony, are you putting it on my Facebook page right now? Because I'm not scrolling as fast as I want to. If Tony is putting it on my page, I'm going to tell you all very quickly her name, and y'all have to go and read this story. But amazing story. So Jackie, that's.
I'm sorry, Brenda. I had zoned out for just a minute.
Yeah, what are you reading?
About for just a second, because I looked up and I saw that my former state senator, who is now a congressman, he's not my congressman, thank God.
Right.
He's a Republican. Jeff Denham is on Chris Hayes.
Oh, yes. He's talking about working with the Democrats.
Well, now, I want you to understand that the way that they carved out Mr. Denham's district, he has a lot of growers in his district. And a lot of Latino people. And so we be trying to save our seat. We scared.
Yeah, yes, he is, Jackie. Yes, I mean, he was talking so graciously about how he wanted to work with, and they've got 185 Democrats signed on to the bill, the immigration bill, and how he's intending to make it a bipartisan bill and bring him trying to save him seat.
Yeah, because in California, let me tell you, baby. If you're not on the right side of this immigration thing, you going down.
Yes, you are. And Jerry Brown has done such great things for y'all after Arnold Schwarzenegger just killed the whole state of California for 12 years.
Tragic. It was tragic.
And now Jerry Brown ain't been there. Has he been back 2 years yet, Jackie?
Oh, yeah.
And he has gotten the state of California on a roll, baby.
Well, yeah, but the one, it's just like I tell you before, the wonderful thing that happened in California is that we have just changed up how we do certain things, how the districts are drawn, how candidates are chosen to run for office. So, we have open primaries here now. And what that means is that all the candidates are on the ballot for primaries, all right? And you go and vote, and the top two vote getters are the ones that run in the general election. It doesn't matter what your party is. Okay? So what has happened in California, since California is such a heavily Democratic state, we are choosing in the general election between this Democrat or that Democrat. The Republicans don't make it to the general election. And, the Republican Party in California has been in disarray for quite some time. And, they're just pitiful. It's true.
Mr. Jay, they're just pitiful.
They are. They're truly pitiful.
I heard something about your all's Judge Creep
God.
I meant to tell you about, but I forgot.
He is not my judge, okay? He snuck in down in
San Diego. Yeah.
They are so embarrassed. They don't know what to do.
Yes, girl. Y'all got yourselves a real judge out there.
Get your asses out and voted then.
Okay, so y'all, I was waiting. I thought I had it here because I read it in detail. I was waiting for DJ Tony to grab that story, but it'll be a great story to share with y'all next Tuesday night. Okay, so we will do that then. I won't get into going on, but I certainly want y'all to get
That's right, because we gotta go because I gotta get up early.
Yeah, Jackie has to come late, and then she likes to get all her stuff in because she got a lot to say about this, and we always end up going over. But it's cool because we're not stepping on any of the triple threat in full effects toes, so we just go ahead and work it on out. But Tony, that's okay. I'll get it, and I'll make it a great story for next Tuesday night. And we really, really, really appreciate y'all joining us here tonight at Let's Talk About It, where we believe that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And what else do we believe, Jackie?
Free your mind, honey, and your ass will follow.
That's right. And you have been listening to what? Come on, Brenda, say it. Hi, this is the wild and wonderful Brenda White inviting you to join me every Tuesday night from 9 until 11 p.m. Eastern Time for Let's Talk About It. We are the winners of the Spreaker U-Voice 2012 Award for the most informative political talk show. And yes, baby, we do keep you informed with all the facts, the fun, and the foolishness with all the political goings on in our country. So you don't want to miss it. Tell somebody to join us here every Tuesday night from 9 until 11 p.m. Eastern Time for Let's Talk About It. Right here at Spreaker Spreaker.com. Okay, who can say it better than the automated Brenda Pearl White? Okay, all right, y'all. So thanks for joining us tonight. We love you. To the chat room, Morgan Field, Tony, Sandra, David Capers, everybody. Jack and I love you. We appreciate it. And we will see you right back here Tuesday night. Now, tomorrow night is Words of Inspiration and Prayer from the Altar with Pastor Mitty Collier. I don't do the preaching. I just host the show and play the music for Pastor Collier. So y'all join us for a shouting good time tomorrow night from 8 until 10 p.m. Okay? Okay. So, love y'all. We out. Say goodbye, Jackie.
Goodbye, Jackie.
Say goodbye, monkeys. All right, and the crowd. We love you. We're out.
Just hand in the voices of the children and a language that we all understand. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. Individual differences and preferences should never breed a word of hate. Let the love that binds us constantly remind us of the one life that we are. Let's love and celebrate.
Together we determined that a modern economy requires railroads and highways to speed travel and commerce, schools and colleges to train our workers. Together we discovered that a free market only thrives when there are rules to ensure competition and fair play. Together, we resolved that a great nation must care for the vulnerable and protect its people from life's worst hazards and misfortune. Through it all, we have never relinquished our skepticism of central authority, nor have we succumbed to the